Good morning, YouTube. I'm here in Austin, Texas. I'm taking you through a full day of training today. It is currently 6:45 in the morning. I'm cooked. I had a big day of training yesterday and we are 5 days out from the Austin Marathon and I want to get a good time. I haven't raced a half marathon in 2 years and I've actually been somewhat training for this. Despite this not being my big thing of the year, I've got a pretty big run in May that I'm training for. There's gonna be a big one. It's gonna put me in the pain cave for a long time. We've got a 10K easy run this morning and we're gonna go to the gym late this afternoon here in Texas. I've been training here the last 2 weeks. The weather's been unreal these last 2 weeks. It was 30 degrees the weekend. Thus you can see I'm a little bit tanned at the minute. That weather has changed considerably. It's now 8 degrees and raining. I'm gonna spin you around. So this is currently what we're dealing with weather-wise. This is grey, it's gloomy, and it's very much raining out there. On the cards for breakfast, we've got 2 bananas. We've got 2 scoops of G1M. G1M is carbohydrates and electrolytes. This stuff absolutely slaps. Ideal pre-training. I go through like a tub of this every other week. It's very good. As someone who finds it not the easiest to digest proper meals before I train, I just chuck 2 scoops of this in a bottle with some ice cubes. It goes down an absolute treat. I don't know what it is, but whenever I'm away from home, I find it so much easier to just get all my sessions done. Running and lifting most days, some days adding in a bike session, so 2 to 3 workouts a day. Maybe consider leaving home for a little while to some sort of like mini training camp. I did this last year before the last challenge and it was great. I just did 2 weeks of running considerable distances and not having to worry about like real life problems because you're away from home. Obviously, if you've got real life problems, you've got to deal with them priority. But if you don't, and you can just focus on your training, just focus on your training, it's much better. Thankfully today, I'm not running on my own. I'm with a bunch of other BPN athletes here in Austin. BPN are actually the sponsor of all nutrition for the Austin Marathon. So every bit of on-course nutrition, from drinks to gels, is all BPN. As there are so many BPN athletes here in Austin, we'll meet up today to go for a run. There's like 6 or 7 of us meeting up, running together, which is quite nice because in this kind of weather, running on your own, a little bit miserable. So yeah, let's go. All right, so like an hour out of Austin, come to run in the beautiful hills of a place called Georgetown. Never been here before. It is the coldest and wettest it's been since I've been here in Austin. So we're fully kitted out today, wet weather gear. About to crush a 10K run. We've got the whole gang with us today as well.
I'll rip something if I don't do that. I'll absolutely tear.
The first couple of K should fucking warm up.
That is very true. I don't think I've ever warmed up once for a run. At a track, yes, you run slow to prepare yourself, but I've never once warmed up for like an easy run. The first few Ks you warm up, that's it, that's all you need to do. Everyone all at once. That was not an easy pace run at all. Cooked it. I was supposed to have like somewhat intervals in the middle of my session. The whole thing was done at threshold and not in my fast shoes either. So we're feeling a little bit. Regretting training legs yesterday on those hills, but gorgeous morning. It's nice that it's cold now here in Austin. Being from London, I'm used to cold weather. I'm used to training cold weather. On Saturday, it was 30 degrees. So this is a nice change of pace. And come race day, it's looking like it's gonna be 1 or 2 degrees Celsius, which is perfect.
I wonder if any of them are actually going to do my session this afternoon. I feel like they're all going to not want to be a part of that. He won't.
I will not be doing that session this afternoon. I'm going to do a lift. I'm going to lift weights normally, not at an excessive speed.
I'm going to
There's
lift weights.
lifting weights, combining it with a rower and a skier. It's kind of messed up the rest period in between the lifting and the weights. All right, down at BPN for a workout. These guys got a high rock session, which I'm not being a part of whatsoever. Gonna hit an easy upper body session, bit of push, bit of pull, nothing crazy. We had a half marathon on Sunday. The week of any half marathon or marathon or even an ultra, I generally just do 2 sessions, 1 lower, 1 upper. I've done my lower session on Monday, it's my upper session. So yeah, taking it nice and easy, taking it nice and light, and just enjoying the workout, because if you're not enjoying it, what's the point? Bench press is my favorite thing to do in the gym. I don't do anywhere near as much bench as I used to do when I just lifted and played rugby. I don't think I'm ever gonna get back to 140s, which I was at a couple of years ago. The goal these days isn't to lift as much as I can, it's to run as far as I can. And bench press isn't that useful for running really far, but it feels good. I top set, 124 kilos. Looking back from when I used to lift a lot more, it does feel a little bit annoying. I still can't hit those numbers, but again, you become what you practice. Back when I was lifting 140 kilos on bench, there is no way in hell I could have ran 960 kilometers over 11 days. It's the price you gotta pay. You can't be great at everything at the same time. Sometimes you gotta pay the price, pick something, focus on that, get better at that, develop that. At the end of the day, I still remember when I first hit 80 kilos on the bench press. That was a big moment for me. It took me so long, age 19, to get to 80 kilos. That still felt like a lot of weight back then, and that feels like a lot of weight now. It's been a minute since I've just done like a chest day or a back day or a shoulders day, and I miss training like that. It's fun, but today it's just upper, hitting the most important lifts, bit of bench, bit of shoulders, a bit of back. Again, not trying to tax my system. We've got a half marathon to race this weekend. We're just working through the motions of it, get some lifts in. And most importantly, I'm not doing what these guys behind me are doing, which is high rocks, which is something that I never say never to, but at the same time, I don't like training for high rocks. I've done a lot of high rock training before. It sucks. I don't mind running ultras. I enjoy it. I just don't get the same pleasure out of training with that intensity in the gym that I do out of running or lifting weights.
Myself a real good time. I fly at the world.
Training done for the day. Yee. I thought I had a big day of training. We had a 10K run earlier. For me, that was a threshold run. For you, it was an easy run.
It was hard for me, bro.
And then a good lift then. You did a high rep session. You also cycled this morning before the run.
I had a 90-minute ride, yeah.
A 90-minute ride. Was that easy ride or?
It was max efforts. It was a VO2 max ride, so it was 4 rounds of 4 minutes at 345 watts, and then 1 round of 4 minutes at 360 watts. So about 20 total minutes at 350.
Jesus Christ. So this is 3 pretty decent sessions of the day.
I would say so, yeah. Because
Wow.
that run was by no means easy, you know?
Okay, cool.
I'm
Glad it wasn't
right
just me.
there with you.
Okay, perfect.
As Johnny and I would be going, I'm like, hey, like we can veer off, like pull back a little, like you give me the cue and I'm right there with you, man.
Yo, Lucy and Tommy are fast. So I was chatting to Tommy just then. He was saying his heart rate was, during that high rock session, he goes, damn, my heart rate jumped to like 150. It's the highest it's been all day. And I was like, well, we ran earlier, like a threshold run. Like, where was your heart rate that run? He's like, oh, like 135, 140.
Yeah, those two are built different. I take a step outside, my heart rate's 150. So like I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
We've got a half marathon to run this weekend.
Yee!
Austin Marathon, the half,
I'm running the full. I'm pacing my cousin though, so I'm not like running, but 26.2 is still 26. That's miles, by the way, freedom units. But a marathon's still a marathon.
A marathon is still a marathon, doesn't matter how fast or slow you run. In fact, I personally think that if you're running a marathon like 4, 5, 6, I know people who run a marathon over like 8 hours. That's 8 hours of running.
It's unreal.
As someone who's ran multiple times for 8 hours, I can tell you it sucks.
Yeah.
So if your marathon time isn't 3, 4, 5 hours, it's 7, 8, 9 hours, kudos to you, because that is hard.
Work is work.
Work is work. Oh. All right, it's been a long day. We've got a decision to make for the weekend. We've got the New Balance Elites. These I ran New York City Marathon in the last year. They were awesome. However, I put a lot of miles in these and they've seen better days, as you can probably see. They are a little bit cooked right now. On the other hand, I've got these, the Adidas Prime Strung 2s, I think they're called. These are really fast. However, I managed to bruise the top of my foot, like right here wearing them. For the last 3 days since I wore these for a 22K at the weekend, my foot has been in agony, which is never a good sign when it comes to a shoe. These are incredibly fast, however. I love Adidas shoes, especially their carbon plated shoes. I don't know, we'll figure it out at the end. Anyway, today has been great. We've got a run in, we've got a lift in, spent a lot of time here with people from BPN, which is always awesome because everyone involved with BPN, from other athletes to the people who work at BPN, are just all really amazing people with such a strong ethos towards performance, towards pushing yourself, and it's amazing to be involved as an athlete for BPN, which is something that I never thought I'd say, but here we are. Looking forward to this weekend. It's gonna be really cold this weekend, which is great for me because I don't do well in hot conditions. I will, however, have to start getting used to running in hot conditions because the ultra I've got this May is back here in Austin. It's the last man standing race. I don't want to just run this. I want to be in contention for winning it. I know there's some absolute savages who are racing in this. It's 120 runners, 4.2 miles on the hour, every hour, until there's one person remaining. So that could be after 24 hours, could be after 36 hours. That could be beyond 48 hours, I don't know. But it's gonna be the most exciting training block I've had for a long time. And that's the most important thing about this. Anything you train for, you've gotta love the training. You've gotta love the process. As long as the process is enjoyable and you can see yourself improving, getting better, getting new habits, getting new disciplines, that makes it all worthwhile because it's about becoming the person who can do the thing. The thing itself is irrelevant. So for me, I'm excited about this next training block. It's gonna push me in so many different ways, from weight management to heat management to every aspect of running and racing and ultras combined into one really messed up event. And I'm here for it, and hopefully you will be too.